Hello and welcome to Kaz English, your ultimate destination for mastering the English language. Whether you're a beginner or looking to polish your skills, we've got you covered with engaging lessons and practical tips. Don't forget to visit our website at kazap.uk, that's kaz.app.uk, for exclusive resources and additional learning tools to help you succeed. Let's dive into today's lesson and take your English to the next level.
Okay, so have you ever noticed how, textbook English and real English, they sometimes feel like two totally different languages?
Yeah, definitely.
Like you can ace all the grammar quizzes, but then you get out in the real world and bam.
It's a whole other ball game, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially like you want to sound natural, like, someone who actually, speaks English every day.
Absolutely.
And that's where situational dialogues come in.
Exactly.
Like having these mini scripts for everyday life. And we're going to be looking at one today.
Yeah.
A really, really good one.
It's a good one.
And it's all about sharing chores, which I think everyone, no matter what language they speak,
Oh, yeah.
can relate to.
It's a universal struggle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we've got this couple, James and Kate, and they're trying to, figure out this chore schedule.
Right. Make life a little easier, streamline things a bit.
Yeah. So Kate kicks things off, and she says, James, we really need to think about creating a schedule for all these household chores.
She's not messing around.
No beating around the bush there.
Straight to the point, clear, simple language, which is, I think another thing that's really helpful for language learners.
Yeah, you don't always need to overcomplicate things.
Exactly.
Just get your point across.
Yeah.
So James, he says, you're right. Honestly, lately, all the housework has just been so overwhelming.
And that right there is such a great example of how you can express, emotions, feelings using everyday English.
Yeah, I think everyone's felt overwhelmed at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when it comes to chores, right?
Yeah, it's like that feeling of, oh, there's just too much to do.
Too much to do.
And it's never ending.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then Kate, she jumps in with a suggestion, and she says, okay, well, how about this? You handle all the laundry, and I'll take care of all the cooking.
Now, that phrase right there, that "how about you," is gold.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic phrase to learn from making suggestions. It's polite, it's collaborative.
It is?
And it just opens up that conversation.
Yeah.
It's like you're inviting the other person to be a part of that decision-making process.
And James replies with another great phrase.
Yeah, he does.
He says, that's fair.
Simple but powerful.
Yes.
It gets the job done.
Yep. And then he throws out another suggestion.
Okay.
He says, should we alternate cleaning duties every week then?
Okay, now this brings up a word alternate, which might be new for some learners out there, but it's a really handy one.
It is.
It simply means to take turns.
Yeah.
Switch back and forth.
Yeah.
So in this case, James is suggesting that they, switch who's responsible for cleaning every week.
So 1 week he's doing it, 1 week she's doing it.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And Kate, she loves the idea.
She's on board.
She says, perfect. And how about on weekends, we tackle deep cleaning together?
I love that.
Yeah.
Tackle is another great word, and it's really good for when you're talking about dealing with something that might be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, like a really, really messy room.
Exactly.
That needs some serious attention.
Yeah, like let's tackle that messy garage.
Or let's tackle that pile of laundry that's been sitting there for a week.
Exactly.
And I also like that they're going to tackle it together.
Right.
Like it's a team effort.
Yeah, it shows that collaboration.
Yeah.
Which I think is really nice.
It is. Yeah.
And I think, this is where these situational dialogues really shine, because it's not just the individual words.
Yeah.
It's how they all come together. And it shows those little nuances, those little subtleties of communication.
The way that native speakers actually talk.
Exactly.
Right? You get a feel for the rhythm of the language.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's take a little pause here and do a quick review of some of those key words and phrases we just came across, because they're really useful.
They are.
So first up, we had that word overwhelming.
Right.
And as we talked about, it means that feeling of like, I can't handle it.
Yeah, it's too much.
Too much.
Yep.
Then we had that word alternate.
Right.
Which means to take turns, switch back and forth.
To go back and forth between things, yeah.
Yep. And then that really great verb, tackle.
Yes.
Which means to really, face a challenge head on.
To confront it.
Yes.
With energy and determination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now imagine taking these words and actually using them in your own conversations.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
It's empowering.
It is.
Because, the more you practice these words and these phrases,
Yeah.
the more natural they're going to become.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all about repetition.
Yes, exactly.
And speaking of practice, there are some amazing resources out there that can really help you.
There are.
And one that comes to mind that's just fantastic is Kaz English. It's especially great, especially for beginners and those at the early intermediate level.
Yeah.
It's the perfect stepping stone to take you from, kind of knowing some basics to having actual conversations.
Yeah. And it uses situational dialogues just like this one that we're looking at.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's got this really, really unique learning player.
Yeah. It's so engaging.
It is.
It's not boring at all.
It's not boring at all.
It's kind of like playing a game.
Yeah.
It makes it really fun.
And you get to, experiment with the language in a really safe space.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, you don't feel that pressure.
Exactly. No judgment.
Exactly. No judgment.
Just try it out. See what happens.
Yeah, have fun with it.
Exactly.
So, on Kaz English, you'll find all kinds of situational dialogues on lots of different everyday topics.
Yeah, like you name it, they've probably got it.
Yep. From like ordering food at a restaurant
Mm-hmm.
to asking for directions, even like making small talk. So they really cover everything you need to know to, get out there and communicate in the real world.
Absolutely. It's all about giving you that confidence boost.
Yep. Yeah.
So you can speak English with ease.
So if you're interested, definitely check it out. The website is https://kazap.uk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get back to our dialogue. We'll see what else James and Kate have to say.
Okay, back to the chores.
Back to the chores.
Yeah. Okay, so let's rewind a bit and take another look at how Kate made those suggestions.
Oh.
She used this really handy phrase, "How about you?"
Right.
It's so versatile.
Mm-hmm. You can use it in so many situations.
Exactly. Like, let's say you're at a restaurant with friends. You could say, "How about we split the bill?"
Oh, yeah. Or how about we try that new dessert?
Exactly. Or if you're, making weekend plans,
Mhm.
you could say, "How about we go to the park for a picnic?"
It's a really nice way to kind of get everyone involved,
Absolutely. It's collaborative, it's not pushy,
Yeah.
and it keeps that conversation flowing.
Okay, and then remember how James responded?
Yeah.
He said, that's fair.
Another gem.
It is.
It's like the classic way to say, "Okay, I agree with you."
Yep, it's simple, but it's so effective.
It is. It shows you're listening, you're open to the idea,
Mm-hmm.
and it avoids any potential conflicts.
Yeah, keeps things nice and harmonious.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about overwhelming. We've talked about alternate.
Right.
Let's get to that other word that Kate used, tackle.
Yes, tackle is such a good verb.
It is.
It means to deal with something,
Mm-hmm.
but with like a sense of purpose, like you're really going to take care of it.
Yeah, you're not messing around.
No, you're not messing around.
I'm going to tackle this project today.
Exactly, or you're going to tackle that to-do list.
You're determined to get it done.
You are. You're going in, you're focused.
Yeah. I like that
It's
word.
a good one.
Okay, so we've looked at a lot of great vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
but, it's one thing to just kind of know these words,
Right.
but how do we actually start using them,
Right. The key is practice.
Yeah. But how do we make it fun?
Oh, that's the most important part.
It is.
Because, if you're not enjoying it,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to stick with it.
Nope.
So one thing I always recommend is, find dialogues that you actually like.
Oh, yeah.
Things that interest you.
Yeah, things that are relevant to your life.
Exactly.
Like, if you love to travel,
Mm-hmm.
find dialogues about, booking a hotel.
Yeah, or ordering food in a different language.
Exactly.
Asking for directions.
Mhm.
Things like that.
Yeah.
That way you're learning and it's fun.
It's interesting.
It's interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then once you found a dialogue you like,
Mm-hmm.
don't just listen to it once.
No.
Like, really break it down.
Yeah. Listen to it a few times.
Mm-hmm. Look for patterns in the language.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do they start a sentence?
Yeah, how do they ask questions?
Yeah, exactly.
How do they make suggestions?
Yeah. And then, most importantly, practice saying it out loud.
Oh, yeah. You got to get those words out.
You do.
Even if you make mistakes.
Exactly.
That's how we learn.
That's how we learn. Don't be afraid to experiment.
And, if you want a really fun way to practice,
Yeah.
we've got to mention Kaz English again.
We do.
Because they're all about making language learning engaging and enjoyable.
Absolutely. And they've got this amazing library of dialogue.
So many different scenarios.
It's really impressive. And their learning player, it's almost like playing a game.
It is. It's really interactive.
Yeah, you're not just passively listening. You're actually, making choices.
You're participating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get feedback.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So if you're looking for a fun and effective way to practice, definitely check them out. https.kazapp.uk.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
Okay, so back to our chore conversation.
Okay, back to James and Kate.
Where do we leave off?
They had just decided to review their plan after a week. Oh, right.
Which I think is really smart.
Yeah, it's like they're building in that flexibility.
Exactly. Because, let's be honest, in real life, things don't always go exactly according to plan.
No, they don't.
So it's good to have that open communication.
That check-in.
Yeah, to make sure everyone's still on the same page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because things change, priorities change.
Exactly, and that's a good thing.
It is.
It means you're adapting.
Okay, so where do they go from here?
Well, we'll have to find out in the next part of our deep dive.
The suspense.
I know, right?
Stay tuned. It's like sneaking in some English practice without even realizing it, right?
Exactly, and that's what makes this whole approach so cool.
It is.
You're not stuck with textbooks.
Yeah.
You're seeing how real people actually use the language.
Yeah, you're learning by doing, basically.
Yes, exactly, and you're having fun while you're doing it.
Okay, so before we wrap things up,
Mm-hmm.
let's go back to those key words and phrases one more time.
Oh, yeah, the good stuff. Yeah, because they're so important.
They're the building blocks.
Mm.
Once you have those down,
Yeah.
you can start building more complex sentences, more complex ideas.
So first up, we have overwhelmed.
Right, that feeling of, I've got too much on my plate.
Too much to handle.
Yep.
Then we've got alternate, which means to take turns, switch back and forth.
Like, think of the seasons changing. That's alternating.
Oh, yeah, or like alternating between different outfits every day.
Exactly, yeah, good example.
And then, last but not least, we have that powerful verb, tackle.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like you're saying, I'm ready to take this on.
I'm not afraid of a challenge.
Exactly, yeah, it shows that determination.
So challenge for everyone listening out there.
Okay, I like this.
Try using these words in your conversations this week.
Yeah. See if you can sneak them in.
Yeah, even just once or twice.
Just in once, yeah.
It's amazing how quickly they become a natural part of your vocabulary.
Absolutely, it's like magic.
And if you need a little extra help with your English practice, finding those situations to use these words in,
Yeah.
we got to mention Kaz English one more time.
We do.
They're really great, especially if you're a beginner or, early intermediate level.
They're like your English cheerleader.
They are.
Always there to support you and encourage you.
And their website is https.kazapp.uk.
Easy to remember.
Very easy to remember.
So go check them out.
Yep, you won't regret it.
Okay, so we've reached the end of our deep dive.
We have.
And I think it's safe to say even a short dialogue about something as simple as chores can be packed with learning opportunities.
It can. It really can.
It's all about, paying attention.
Yeah.
Being curious about the language.
Yeah, and not being afraid to try new things.
Exactly, because the more you experiment, the faster you'll learn.
Absolutely.
So keep practicing, keep exploring, and most importantly,
have fun.
yes.
This is The Deep Dive. Signing off.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at Kaz English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's kazapp.uk for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.